5? Top 3.
Top 3.
Don't fucking do that, man.
It's like 5 word review, top 3.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry about that. Also, and it's funny. So I actually got you, Jess, conflated with Marie, who's in our Discord. We've been chatting back and forth. So when she came on for RRR, she got so mad at Andrew at his questions that she said, "Next time I come on, I'm writing the questions. This is bullshit," right? Like she was so mad. So I got you two conflated. So I was talking to Sam. I said, because when Andrew said that he couldn't make it because of the thing, his family, I said, wait a minute, was that Jess or Marie that said that they were going to do the questions? Like I had to go back and look. And then I remembered I asked you to do the questions when you were guest hosting. So that's how that all happened.
Yeah. So. And you guys didn't like my questions either. So like, it's a hard job, Andrew. Like I get it. Like tell Andrew that. Like it's hard.
Questions were great.
Yeah.
In comparison to Andrew's, my questions are pretty damn easy. So I feel confident that it's going to be like a 3-2 victory by somebody. Okay. Anyway, who knows? I could be way off. I don't know. They seem easy to me. But I was also in such a rush. And I finished the movie at like 8:55 and then started pulling. Yeah. Yep.
Oh, no.
Well, because we went and bought a car last night. So like we were at
where'd you get it from?
Mooresville. We drove to Mooresville.
Okay, you did it. Okay.
And we bought it. And so we didn't get home until like 9:30. And then so you put the kids to bed, so that's 10. So then I started the movie, and then when I realized that I had fallen asleep and missed 15 minutes of it, I was like, I'll just finish it tomorrow. So
okay.
Sorry for the late.
Now it's fresh in your mind.
Oh yeah, it's real fresh.
Yeah.
Great. All right. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1 podcast.
Roger. What'd I miss?
Oh, well, your mom gave me cursed knives, and then my mom almost yelled at my dad's girlfriend for smiling.
Ooh.
Oh, also, your cousin Amy asked if she could charge her vibrator.
Oh, so cousin Amy came.
She will soon. What are you wearing?
Oh, it's,
Why is your hair all wet?
Oh, I went for a little moonlight swim.
You fell in the water, didn't you?
Yeah, I fell in the
water. We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Hello, and thank you for listening to Cheapseat Reviews, the podcast that explores the Hollywood film industry for the greater good.
The greater good.
Yeah, there's nothing you can really do with this.
No, I thought about maybe Philippinian. Bali.
Well, that's okay. Yeah, the Philippine accent, a Filipino.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. That's what I was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm glad you didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you could have just done straight pirate.
Or you could have done Cheech, like
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, Dave's not here, man. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's the greater good. This is episode 433, and tonight we're talking about Shotgun Wedding, a movie that has been on our list since they announced it, like back in October or something like that. So as soon as this commercial came out, I called up our friends who I'm about to introduce and said, you must be on this show for this one. This looks like a lot of fun. And they agreed. And so here we are. So I am Sean Allred, and joining me tonight is Sam. So cigarettes make good weapons, Vector.
Apparently, especially if your opponent is wearing tabs from cans on their head.
Well, no, he was the one putting out the fire. The guy what caught on fire was covered in hairspray, which is why he caught on fire.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think he had Coke tabs.
No,
that was the chainmail, wasn't it?
It was the other guy. He had the Coke, the bottle caps. Because I almost made that a question. because you could almost see what they are, and I would
Yeah.
that's either name just one drink on it or how many bottle caps he had on his face. But
Oh,
I
okay.
chose not to because I'm not Andrew.
But Sean,
Yes. Oh yeah. How am I
Sean,
going to die this episode?
Kimberly's going to toss me this little round object, and I'm going to hit it towards you,
No,
and
you can't. No, you can't.
and make sure
You are
it
the
gets
least
to you.
athletic person I have ever known in my life. You would miss that thing and die. Oh my gosh! Actually, I don't know. Did you never played in the fraternity softball game? The softball league?
No.
I have no idea how athletic you are, but I would bet you're less.
Hey, I remember I broke my foot apart playing kickball.
Yeah. You also
So
broke.
not athletic.
I was out for 6 weeks. I was walking around in a gymnasium throwing kids in the foam pit, and I broke my other ankle. So, I mean, I'm very athletic, and I'm very light on my feet.
I'm still fairly confident that you would miss entirely. You would more likely just hit me with the bat.
Oh, well, that's fine too. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Those giggles you hear are, of course, the awesome ladies of the Opinionated Lushes podcast. So making their return is Jess.
Hello.
This
Oh,
podcast.
I'm sorry. I'm really excited.
How many times have you been on my show in the last month and a half?
I don't remember. Remember the goldfish, okay?
You have a middle name. This is how this works, Jess. I say your first name, then I create a middle name for you. Then you can talk.
I'll get it one day.
One day. Again, the third time you've been on my podcast in like 7 weeks. I figured you would remember all this stuff, but it's fine. It's fine. All right. Jess, this is actually really fitting for you for this moment. Jess, this podcast has too many steps. It's actually really perfect. I didn't know that was going to work out as great as it did, but
it works. It writes itself there, man. I mean,
really did. In this case, sometimes my humor actually does work out pretty well. And Sonia, is that genetics or Pilates from the Opinionated Lushes podcast?
I'd ask those
Perfect.
questions.
Oh my gosh. So welcome. Are you okay?
Sorry. Yeah, no, I was really hard holding my mouth closed.
Okay.
Taking a lot of space.
This is
Yeah,
hard time not talking. Okay, interesting.
It causes her physical pain.
Yeah, I could see that. She's like, it just hurts to just not talk.
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. It's okay.
This ailment must afflict my child, my son. He's also he can't not talk.
It's hard.
Yes.
Yeah. When you're at 10, you have lots of things to say. So, ladies, welcome back to the show. Again, you both have, well, Sonia, you weren't here the last time, but Jessica was here.
I wasn't invited.
Well, you weren't, but it was a case where I had no co-hosts, and I asked Jessica to fill in as a co-host, so she actually had responsibilities. And
Yeah, it was hard.
Oh, I'm
Good.
so sorry.
It's good.
How much did he pay you?
My name is on the episode.
I mean, I've mailed you stickers. I can mail you some.
That's true.
Mail you some stickers. But I'm so excited to have you guys back on. So, I mean, literally, when I said that earlier, we've had this on the books for a long time. I mean it. This episode has been on for, as soon as I saw the first commercial for it, I sent Jessica a message and said, this looks like a lot of fun. Because this was before we had you back on in December. I said, we got to find, we got to pick another movie for you to do, in the new year. And yeah, sure. And then this commercial came up. I said, that's the one. And you were like, absolutely. So here we are watching Shotgun Wedding that just came out like this past week.
I know. Look at us doing something recent. I'm just impressed.
Well,
Yeah.
we do it every now and then.
Right?
We do. So, well, it also helps that there's so much now that goes straight to streaming. Like, it's like finally the streaming platforms are going, you know what? Cheapseat Reviews has been doing their show for 9 years. We started feeding them new stuff. I mean, because we did The Gray Man, which was pretty new, and we've done, we've done a handful of other pretty new streaming, thing. So this is all not all that different. But yeah, this is a Shotgun Wedding, directed by Jason Moore, starring Jennifer Lopez, Josh Duhamel, and Lenny Kravitz, which I had no idea he was even in this thing, but Lenny Kravitz is in it.
Yeah.
I love him.
Oh, he's great.
He was a fun character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sean. I just loved how his name was Sean and just the disdain. He cracked me up. But what is Shotgun Wedding, in case you don't know, which is probably a good chance you don't, because it's, again, it's a new movie, and unless you're, you're on Amazon every day, you probably haven't seen any commercials for it. So Shotgun Wedding is Darcy and Tom gather their families for the ultimate destination wedding. But when the entire wedding party is taken hostage, the bride and groom must save their loved ones if they don't kill each other first.
Okay. That's
I actually
decent.
like that. That's actually pretty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll give it to him.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what this plot reminded me of?
Sure. Every other rom-com ever.
No, like specifically, romantic island taken over by pirates brings the couples closer together. It reminded me of a 2015 Family Guy episode where they go on a couples retreat and then they get taken over by pirates. And then it turns out the pirates are actually working for the couples retreat and that the near-death experience brings like couples closer together. And that was part of the retreat. It was like a big joke. But yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah. So that's what this
Whoops.
reminded me of.
Okay.
I like that.
Yeah.
Deep cut.
I like-
2015.
It reminds me of American Dad episode too.
Yeah.
Where it wasn't
probably.
Seth MacFarlane does not know how to, make new material, I guess. So like they went on there was like the Goo episode, and and then they just like ended up on an island where people tried to kill them, but it wasn't real.
Yeah. Well, wasn't it ended up being real because he was like trying to prove to them that they weren't in the goo, and that's when they get captured by pirates.
No, they didn't get captured. It was like part of
what is
Because
goo?
Steve ends up eating his girlfriend.
Yeah.
And I think that's when they realize it wasn't the goo or something.
No, it's when Francine jumps off the boat.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, maybe we're not in the goo. Oh, the goo is what Stan puts them in for family vacations, and it puts them in like a virtual reality, so they think they went on a family vacation. It's just so Stan can have time to himself and like do what he wants.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Sam's on board with this idea.
Yeah, let's do that.
Let's put the family in the goo.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
So a few episodes where like pirates bring couples together is what I'm hearing. So
Well,
yeah.
there's 6 Days, 7 Nights with Harrison Ford and Anne Heche, right? Where there's pirates, they're trapped on an island, and that's not an overall good movie, but it has one of my favorite kind of interplays between two people when Harrison Ford gets drunk that first night, and and they're asleep on the so she wakes up and she sees a plane going overhead. So she pulls out the flare, which is trapped under Harrison Ford, and he rolls over, and then trying to light the flare, he rolls into her, and she lights the tree on fire instead of actually the signaling the flare into the sky. And then he kind of wakes up and goes, "What are you doing?" And she said, "I was trying to signal the plane." He goes, "What plane?" And she says, "That plane." He goes, "That's a commercial airliner. It's 7 miles off the ground. They wouldn't see a nuclear explosion if they were looking for it." I love that.
True.
Anyway, so this movie, I'm really curious to see how many of us liked it and how many of us didn't, because IMDb doesn't like it, right? People don't really like this movie. It's got a 5.5 rating out of 10. I mean, this is not scoring very well. And I'll be interested to hear your opinion on it, because this, if you listen to the show, then most likely you follow social media. It's not been a great week for me emotionally. It's just been one of those bad mental health weeks. This was kind of the right movie for me.
Like
everything was funny to me in this movie.
It was great.
Yeah.
This was the perfect, if this would have been a different kind of movie, like if we would have done, I don't know, Big Fish or like something heavy, I would probably still be so grumpy or just, still like in my emotions about the whole thing. But for some reason, this was just so fun and dumb. I was laughing at everything, right? Like, because the main characters are kind of dumb. They make a lot of bad decisions, which is, leads to humor and comedy.
Yep.
Specifically the sandwich slicer. Like, no real human would ever think that that's a good idea. But it made me laugh.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, it made me cringe for a second too, because my in-laws used to own a Jersey Mike's, and they talked about people losing parts of their fingers to the sandwich slicer here.
I use that all the time. It's really hard to cut yourself. Like, you got to try.
Well, there must not have been a guard or something on that, because it was.
No, for like movie purposes, I guess they didn't put a guard on.
Right.
Yeah, they would have had to have taken it off or something. Yeah, because there's no way there's an open blade spinning like that, right? Like that's a kitchen nightmare. Even in the Philippines, there's no way.
Yeah, I was gonna say this seems like it's like an unregulated island. The fact that like pirates have been there before and they're just still allowed to bring people over. I don't think like health and safety regulations are probably a big thing. So maybe no one's really checking in, I guess. So
their item is over 20 years old. Like, the guards have been on them for a while.
Well, and like the only security they have is like one rent-a-cop with a pistol, who thought like if he actually thought Josh was a cop, a pirate, like what was he gonna do with that? I don't know. You're not wrong. All right, so let's do some 5-word reviews here, shall we? Sam, what in the good hell did you
That's fantastic.
Is that my face? How are you doing this so quickly where you can some AI art? Oh my gosh. If you're not watching the YouTube videos, guys.
You're missing out.
Well, last week he put my face on an onion.
Yeah, something's wrong. Something's wrong with your scope there, buddy. You need to check that out.
He put my face on a female body. Is that a tattoo on her shoulder?
Oh yeah, fully.
I mean, okay.
There you go.
It's a little off. It looks like she's wearing a Sean mask. It's not my actual.
Maybe she did.
The way her hair is pulled back, kind of, and the way your face is, kind of makes it look like Alien.
Yeah.
Like the
a
head
little bit.
shape.
Yeah, like the jaw will open and another mouth will shoot out.
Exactly. Another little Sean comes out. Yeah. Yeah.
Terrifying. This is the stuff of marriage. Thank you, Sam.
Yeah.
Well,
it was my turn, or my 5-word review. Okay.
Yes, please.
I'm gonna bring you down, man.
That's fine.
I've got 2 here. The first one is, and you guys can use some of my excess words. The first one is dumb.
It's a one word.
Wow.
My second one is a little bit more descriptive, I guess. But it is no, seriously, just dumb.
No, hold on, Sam. So what you're saying is this?
An allergy.
You can't even have a drop.
Pineapple juice.
Oh, I didn't cut
He
this.
just
I
put
didn't.
pineapple juice in his whiskey. It's so dumb. No! It's just dumb.
Just dumb.
I need to
It's
edit
just
that.
dumb.
I need to
Yeah.
edit.
A drop.
Oh, sorry.
Pineapple juice.
Sorry.
Oh,
Let's do it again.
okay. Now, where to begin with this thing? I don't know if it just hit me the wrong day or not. I didn't have a whole lot of fun with it because it felt like it just kept getting this close to being funny, and this close to being clever, and this close to being interesting, and it never went over that lip. It never found the funny for me.
It was just edging.
Yeah, it was edging the entire time. And if you always edge and you never go over the edge, it's not fun.
It's unsatisfying.
It's
No,
unsatisfying.
I get it.
Yeah.
We just lost on. He's done.
But no, seriously, I didn't find it funny. The only time I chuckled was the very end with the helicopter and Lenny Kravitz getting sucked up into the helicopter and then showing it and the little splat that kind of pops out of the elevator. And I was like, oh, that's kind of funny, right?
I
But
laughed so hard at that part.
I know, me too.
The only redeeming, the one actor that redeemed the movie or almost redeemed the movie, and I thought was trying their best was it Marissa Tomei, the blonde mother-in-law, or not mother, the groom's mother.
Yeah,
Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge. She's
Yeah.
funny.
That's what I meant.
Love her.
I love her so much.
I know. She's
Yeah.
so good in everything she does ever.
But I thought that was funny, but everything else, the action was bad. It was choreographed horribly. The whole baseball bit at the end, why didn't he just throw it? I mean, wouldn't you want to just throw it because you're a baseball player and you could throw it at a person?
He's a failed baseball player.
Well,
Let's be honest here. He could probably be a coach.
Yeah.
I hated that trope. Oh, the those that can't teach. Yeah. Every time that trope comes up, my wife wants to throw a brick at the TV.
Yeah.
But he was the movie sets it up, right? Oh, he's a baseball player. Well, he's a designated hitter, right? So
yeah,
like he's not a fielder. He's literally just the designated hitter. So when they said that in the movie, I'm like, that's obviously going to make some kind of return in the movie.
It's going to come back in some way. I thought it was going to be with the first grenade. Honestly,
I did too. I mean, I had the same thought too. It was like, she's carrying this grenade. He's like, well, he is a baseball player. He is still an athlete. He could probably chuck that thing pretty far. But, it ended up turning into a grenade ex machina later, which is fine. But.
Yeah. Yeah. But I didn't think it was trying to be clever, and it wasn't, honestly. I mean, J-Lo, God bless her, she still is incredibly attractive. And, that was a nice part of the movie. But the story, I don't know. I don't know if I wanted Hangover type comedy. I don't know if I wanted 40 Days, 40 Night type. I mean, I just don't know what I wanted, and none of it came through in my vein of comedy, I guess.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah, and comedy is subjective. I will say this.
Yeah.
About 10 minutes into this movie, I thought this would have been a really fun one to do live. I think this one would have been more fun if the four of us sat down tonight and watched it live on a stream.
Yeah.
Just and had a good time, because I think we could have laughed at some stuff more, and we could have kind of riffed off it a little bit. I think this would have probably been better for it, but we
live, you learn.
Yeah.
I mean, and we did one not that long ago, right? Didn't we do one that long ago? So
recently, yeah.
It feels recent. I don't know.
Time has no meaning anymore.
It also feels like you guys were on like last week to me. I mean,
it's because I'm there all the time.
Yeah,
that is true.
The last time you were on was the first week in December, and that still feels like less than 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
January disappeared, I swear.
It really, yeah. I mean, it yeah. And well, most of December for me too. It was like, hey, Opinionated Lushes is doing Spirited. The next day, it's Christmas Day. What just happened? Anyway, all right, Sonia, what's your 5-word review?
I have 2. I have one for Jessica.
For specifically?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds. So because Ryan Reynolds' production company did this movie. So I was like, poor Jessica.
Slightly tainted.
Right.
He was
slightly tainted.
He was actually supposed to be the lead.
Yeah,
thank God he wasn't. Holy hell. That would have ruined it for me. So
his name was big in the end credits. I don't know how you missed it. It was just like right there.
I was too involved with the band at the end, to be fair. Like, I'm not watching the credits. I'm jamming out. Any end credit scene with like a band in it, favorite. Automatic win. Automatic point up, Yeah. Yeah. Like to end on a high note.
Yeah. And then my real one was well done to the casting department. That's actually more letters, but words. But I can borrow. I was allowed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can have some of mine. No worries.
Yeah, I really like the casting choices for each character.
I agree.
It was well done.
Yeah, I agree too. I mean, like I said, originally Ryan Reynolds this movie was actually written for him, and then he had a conflict or something, and they just couldn't make it work, so they subbed out him with Josh Duhamel, which is funny because he's only like 11 years younger than Jennifer Coolidge, who's playing his mom.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny, but
where is he from? What else has he done?
So many things.
He's
right.
done a
I've
few
seen him in a bunch of other things, but
we would
can't
probably know
remember.
him mostly from Transformers, the first trilogy of Transformers.
Okay, he's the army guy.
He's army guy, yeah. I know him from the TV show Las Vegas.
No idea what that is.
Yeah, it was just one of those hourly shows. It was on, like a NCIS or whatever, but it was called Las Vegas, and he was like a security guy at a casino. It was a fun show. It was a good time. They kind of honestly they have their jump the shark moment when the owner of the hotel, it's called the Montesino, something like that. She's literally on the roof, like confessing her love to whatever, and then a wind gust comes and she floats off and dies. A gust of wind takes her and she falls off the hotel and dies. And so
like a tornado.
Yeah.
So it's like a tornado picks her up randomly.
But it's so bad. Like the way it looks too is awful. I mean, it's obviously, wire work, but it's not like she gets yanked. It's just, bye. It's so weird. I almost want to find it on YouTube just so you can see it. Anyway, Josh Duhamel is for that. He was also in Win a Date with Tad Hamilton and some other stuff like that. These are just things that are off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's in a bunch of stuff. Good. He's a good army guy. All right, Jessica, what you got?
Okay, so mine kind of goes with Sam's a little bit, but from like the flippity floppity, like the reverse side. Like he's like dumb is bad, but I'm like dumb is good. So my 5 words are interesting use of green screen.
Okay.
And I'm taking it, okay, so like I find like I can't tell if like my standards of movies because it's 2023 are so high or movies are like just aren't keeping, like I don't know what it is, because like back in the day when movies first happened, that famous train that scared all the people out of the theater because people didn't know. Well, like we all seen CGI and we have all seen green screen now. So we expect things to be so realistic. And when it's not, we're just like, that's corny, that's cheesy, whatever. I think they did it on purpose to make it campy. So like, it's like, kind of like Team America World Police was like, no, we need to see the string. Yeah. We want people to know they're puppets. Yeah. This is like, we want people to remember this is a silly movie that's not real. So interesting use of green screen. I'm saying that was a choice and not a budget concern.
All right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
So, yeah, those are my 5 words.
I like it. All right. So my 5 words are simply fun action rom-com pirates.
You're like, I'm going to pick words.
Yeah. Sometimes it makes a sentence, sometimes it doesn't. I again, like I said, for whatever reason, I don't know why this movie worked for me. And I was thinking about it while Sam was criticizing the movie, in that, which is totally fine. Again, this is not a movie that I feel obligated to defend. Okay, let's be real clear. You don't like it, that's fine. I don't care. It's not like. It's not like where it's like, like Serenity or what are some of the other ones, Sam, where we're like, I don't care what you say, I love it. Like,
oh yeah, well, Jurassic Park.
Yeah, I mean, Jurassic
Park,
our
favorite movies. Yeah,
but I mean, like there's even like Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Like I will physically get angry at you for saying that about Scott Pilgrim versus the World. So
we live I live like right near like where some of the scenes were shot for like Scott Pilgrim.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's a fun fact about where I live.
I've been to those places.
I lived about a mile away from the Hunger Games desperation camp or whatever it was, the District 13.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. Where they filmed
Missed
all that stuff.
locations.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna try to be cool about it, but there's not a really way to do it, to bring up the fact that Lenny Kravitz, who was in the Hunger Games, right, and that I was almost a crew person on the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Almost a crew person.
I tried to recruit you, man.
Well, what the problem is your phone call was a day too late.
Oh, that's true too.
Because when I got the call from the production company, they're like, "Hey, we need a guy," and I was like, "I can't." And I mean, ultimately, I guess it was probably the good decision, but like they didn't. I didn't ask what the production was because I didn't think if they're calling me, it's not going to be anything big, right? Like I'm saying, like if you look at my resume at the time, I had only a handful of credits. They called me because my name is Allred. I was the first on the list.
The very first one. Yeah.
So, when the guy called me and offered me the gig, and I turned it down, literally the next day, Sam was like, "Hey, they're filming the Hunger Games up here," and that's where it was. They're like, "Yeah, it's a shoot in Hickory." And I was like, "Son of a bitch! I got the house with Jennifer Lawrence." So
Yeah.
I could have met Lenny Kravitz.
Darn.
I know. Anyway, it's fine.
It's fine.
I'm not all upset about that or bitter or whatever. No, seriously. It's fine. So, yeah, again, Sam, this movie is dumb. This movie is dumb
Right?
from
Yeah.
the beginning. This movie, I mean, Jennifer Coolidge is cracking me up because I literally think they just I don't think anything she had was written.
No, not at all.
I'm a mother. I can worry about a lot of things at the same
I know.
time.
I related so much.
I know, me too. Ugh.
And it's great because in other things that I've seen her in, she annoys me. Like just the Stifler's mom thing. I don't know why. I don't like her.
Probably because it's a grown ass woman trying to sleep with a child. That
Yeah,
shouldn't
that's
you.
yeah.
See, as the guy though, I don't really care about that part. The whole movie doesn't work for me. I don't like the movie at all.
Yeah.
So
Well, we are the rare crowd though that didn't like American Pie.
I didn't like it. It was one of those things where it was hyped up to me so much. This is our generation's Breakfast Club, or this is our generation. Yeah.
No, it's a terrible movie.
Just made Jessica. It's the way my soul feels when I'm watching it. None of the people in the movie are likable except Jim's dad.
Eugene Levy.
Eugene Levy is the only.
From from our hometown.
Nice.
Eugene Levy, who went to high school here. Yeah.
Nice.
I love all these tangential things we got going on.
I've got to rep Canada here, okay?
Hey,
I was gonna say he's Canadian, Schitt's Creek, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah,
so.
and his son Dan Levy. Yeah, they're all Canadians. We got to rep them. I've read.
Sean, have you seen Schitt's Creek yet? By the way.
No.
Yeah.
You haven't?
It's so good.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I watched very
Sean.
little new things.
Sean.
Know this. I haven't.
Sean.
No,
In
watch
fact,
it.
I'm so bummed out that my wife and I have just been so busy and exhausted the last 2 weeks that we haven't finished Willow yet. We're halfway through it and we haven't finished it, and we're loving it. We just during the week it's just not possible to watch TV for us. It isn't. So
I'm watching The Last of Us, which is amazing.
Oh my God!
Watch it.
3.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't! I cried so hard.
I'm waiting until the whole season's over, and then I can watch it all in one day.
See, the problem though is Sean doesn't like stuff like Last of Us because he thinks it tortures him. He doesn't like being sad at TV.
I don't like sad things.
So isn't
Sad
that
means
sad?
it's gonna be hopeful.
Right?
Isn't the whole purpose of that game is it's just the two of them or something?
No. There's little cities and stuff, and they're going between little groups.
It's
It's just
The
the
Walking
apocalypse.
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I never watched also. So.
Well, boo.
I told you. I told you.
I don't.
Well, then
something
you would
weird.
love Schitt's Creek. I don't know what to
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Schitt's Creek is great.
I
Although my husband hates it. It's Canadian comedy, so you have to have a taste for good comedy. So there's no laugh track or anything to tell you when to laugh.
So you just have to know. Yeah.
You need to be smart enough to know when to laugh at jokes. Like, you
That
know,
is true.
it's an intelligence thing. Canadian TV is for smart people.
You
Yeah.
have to fold in the cheese. Fold in the cheese. See?
Yeah. Go Canada.
Okay.
Anyway, I hate you, Sam. All right.
Not the first time I've heard that.
No, that's not. Nor will it be the last on this podcast. So some of my notes. Now, of course, I take notes as I always do. And if it's a movie that I like, I take a few notes. And if it's a movie I don't like, I take a lot of notes. And this one, again, most of my notes are when I'm gonna, write down the time code for the clips, because I don't really have a whole lot of them. My first note was Lenny Kravitz is her ex. Like, what did he do to get her to leave him? Like that was my. That seems like a strange pairing. My next note was, wow, that dad kind of sucks. And then the next one, which Sam kind of alluded to earlier, is there is no straight man on the planet that would turn down sex with J-Lo for pineapples.
No.
Hey, what's that saying that even the most beautiful woman in the world has someone in her life that's sick of her? Because you get used to anything. They were together for like years and years and years.
Yeah,
like
years, yeah.
Yeah, so, obviously not like the first year, but who knows by year 4.
Yeah.
But like, as someone who has to like DIY your entire wedding, I understand needing to get those pineapples done the night before. Like, you need them done. It's important. I would turn down sex with Jennifer Lopez because I'm working on pineapples. Like, it's important.
Especially if I had the opportunity, like, for 4 years leading up to that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that was my only night, then yeah, I'm going for it. But if I had, like, all these other nights before, then, like, I can give up one night for pineapples.
Well, and they made it sound like it's been a while for them because of the wedding. Like, they had stopped for, like, maybe when they got engaged, they didn't have sex for a while, to kind of make their honeymoon night to be special or something. Because
that wasn't even their honeymoon night. That was the night before their honeymoon night.
Well, yeah, I know.
Bad
And
luck.
Yeah.
Well, again, she's like, I'm not the blushing bride. We don't have to do all of this stuff.
Which probably made him not interested in having sex with her because she's just invalidating his feelings about all the work he put into this wedding. I wouldn't want to have sex with someone that treats me like that, to be fair.
Well, and that's what like most of the movie is about, is like them trying to reconnect and communicate with each other about what they're actually feeling and whatever. Uh-oh. Did I miss something? You okay?
Yeah, I was just looking at backgrounds.
Oh, that's fun. You find the strangest pictures of me. Are these on
He's watching you from the bushes, just taking pictures of you living your life.
Just random pictures. You'd be surprised at what I can find.
Oh, I'm sure.
If you want to see Sam's backgrounds, make sure to check out these videos on Cheapseat's YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/Cheapseat Reviews. There you'll see my weird face as a pirate.
Is it a pirate or a baseball player?
It's a pirate, right?
A pirate with a T-shirt on for some strange reason. I'm
Oh.
not exactly
He's
sure.
a modern pirate.
Yeah.
A modern pirate.
Well, I mean, even these modern pirates had that one guy with the weird spiky mask. Man, that looked.
That actually looked pretty cool. I thought that at least the design was interesting.
I loved their masks.
Oh
but,
yeah,
like,
they looked like these guys looked like they stepped off the set of Mad Max Fury Road.
Yes.
That's what I was
exactly.
thinking too.
Yeah.
they all have a Pinterest board.
Yeah. Or Etsy, right? Because Tom saw it on Etsy or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
Because it made me wonder. Because when he said, "Oh, I saw this on Etsy," and I thought, is Etsy where you get the like? Is that where you go for get ideas? I thought that was Pinterest.
It is Pinterest. The idea.
Yeah,
Etsy is
Etsy
like,
is where you can actually buy those ideas.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, that's what Sam's side hustle is all about, Etsy. That's why I was wondering, like, when he said Etsy, I thought maybe they didn't get permission for Pinterest. Maybe they could.
yeah.
That sounds like something that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, my brother-in-law loves Pinterest, and he's on there all the time. And so, like, every time.
As a teacher, as a kindergarten teacher, of course, it's like free stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, 2/3 of our menu is Pinterest meals.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely. Sarah would just say, "Hey, I need you to start dinner." Okay, well, where is it? Okay, go to my Pinterest. It's under meals that look good. I mean, she's got like 7 different tabs for meals, right? She's got like Mexican night and, new recipes to try. She's got all these tabs. And then, I mean, it's actually great because she's very well organized with Pinterest. So I just, oh, okay, here it is. Oh, it's the potato thing. All right, cool. So anyway,
Convenient.
yeah, it's very convenient and very structured. Sorry. But back to the scene with J-Lo in the bedroom. It is kind of a good thing that sex didn't start happening. Now, I mean, again, all right.
Oh, with mom on her way.
Mom walks in. Like, no knock. She just walks in.
Oh my gosh.
And of course says her funny line, which I may or may not have captured. I did. But also, like, it's just the Tom character, the one thing that he does kind of annoy me is like he does come across as this super insecure, oh shucks kind of guy. And it's like usually like athletes are kind of alphas. And
yeah,
usually, and if you are able to, land somebody as like J-Lo, it just kind of seems like you can't be while we're going to make out, I need to start asking questions about your ex-boyfriend. It just seems like a string.
Well, you got to understand too, they were together for 4 years. And they've been living together for that, for a while too. So sometimes the magic goes away, right? Even with J-Lo.
But did they just never talk about this, like her ex? Like, did they
her past?
Like in 4 years? Like, she
Her
said like
ex
they
that
kind
works with her dad.
Yeah, like
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't hear the story of Kenny until we were married 12, 13 years. So that things get held back.
The story of Kenny?
Yeah, it's like you can't just throw that in and then not like
well, it's like
a little bit.
my lovely evil wife, who moved.
We love your wife here, actually.
It's like can she hear you? Is she within striking distance?
She might be. She was. The shower was on. I'm not sure if she's out of it yet. But poor Kenny. Kimberly moved from Charleston to High Point and was dating Kenny. And Kenny drove up to High Point for the weekend. And like the minute he got there, Kimberly broke up with him.
Oh.
And he stayed at their house for like a day and a half. And like apparently her mom was consoling him all night. Because
that's embarrassing.
Because
you're just outing Kenny like that.
So I have to keep bringing up poor Kenny, and
poor
Kenny. I didn't realize how evil women could be. So
we can be.
I apologize on behalf of all women, Kenny.
All the way up. That's, I mean, for what it's worth, for Canadian listeners, that's it's 3.5, 4 hour drive. I mean, that's
too bad. But still,
I mean,
as a 16-year-old, that's a big drive, right? A 16, 17-year-old.
I was expecting like a grown ass man. Okay, no, he needs to be consoled. Okay, like, yeah, no, I flipped. Like, holy crap, like. Poor Kenny, I'm even more distraught now. Oh my god.
So yeah, there you go.
That's funny. Oh, poor Kenny.
Yeah, now you need like poor Kenny merch. You know,
right?
Like,
yeah, right.
crying to your mom or her mom.
Yeah, we're gonna work on that now. Poor Kenny. I like this idea. Which is funny. So I went to high school with Kimberly. Like I've known her longer than Sam, and but I'd never heard the Kenny story. That's great.
Right? I didn't hear it forever. So.
When she first moved to High Point, she would have been like 14, right?
Yeah, I think
So Kenny was like 16 and she was 14. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess I will say this on Kimberly's behalf. Good job doing it the second he got there instead of like hanging out for the weekend and then breaking up with him. Like
or why not before he gets there? Why
I mean, you're not wrong.
In the phone call.
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
Hey, I'm on my way up. Hey, don't.
Right? Yeah.
Save the gas, you know.
Yeah. Well,
But,
back
like,
then gas was
14-year-olds
72
don't
cents.
Yeah,
do
but for a
that stuff.
16-year-old, that was probably still a lot of money. I don't know.
Mhm. Yeah.
Anyway,
So
poor Kenny. Um, so back to this movie that doesn't have a Kenny. I mean, unless you want to count the best man as poor Kenny, right? Who sleeps
no, well,
Yeah, he
he found
wins.
himself somebody. He won this movie.
Yeah, he did. He was cracking me. I could have used actually a little bit more of him. He was
Yes.
kind of cracking me up a little bit.
I thought the secondary characters, maybe if they would have focused on them a little more and had a little bit more of their story and their shenanigans, I think it would have been better. I really do.
Okay.
The two of them, the all of the parents and their dynamic, I think they could have had a lot more fun with it.
Yeah.
Less
Well, I find
couple
even.
bickering.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say like some of the scenes between the like husband and wife felt like they were like too long. Like
Yeah.
it was like, okay, the joke passed. Why are we still?
And several times.
Several times, yeah. Like
Yeah.
it happened a few times, yeah. Like filler almost. Scenes went too long, so yeah.
Yep.
Did anyone have like any like family drama at their wedding? Because like this movie was very relatable for me. Like I was like fair, you know.
Define.
I mean, other than Sean's father-in-law getting me incredibly intoxicated, I don't see anything happening at yours, Sean. Was there? Oh well, no. No.
Are you kidding?
I forgot the 20-something laps that the other groomsmen and I did through the church as we were waiting for the bride to show up.
Not the bride, the dress.
Well, the dress to
Not
show up.
even the bride in it, just the clothing.
Sarah was there at the church. Our 2:00 wedding. Our 2:00 wedding. Yeah, our 2:00 wedding started at 4 because the dress was not finished.
The poor organ player started and was up there playing organ for like an hour and 45 minutes.
Yeah, when we had a May wedding, and when he started playing "Oh Come All You Faithful," I was like, it's time to get him out of there. He run through the whole hymnal. He had nothing else.
Yeah, he was nothing else to play.
And the funny part was my grandmother was like, I was like, oh, I need to get him out of there. And she's like, you will not. I am enjoying this music. I'm like, so fortunately, my mom's cousin was there, who was also an organist, so she took over for like 20 minutes. And so I saw his name was Ronnie. I'm like, Ronnie, how are your hands? My hands are fine. It's just my ass is numb. Yeah, the dress was 2 hours late. So basically at about an hour and 40 minutes, right? So we're passing notes back and forth through the door, right? And I knew that her grandmother, I always get this part of the story wrong. One of her grandmothers, I can't remember which, had given her, basically it was like a full-length nightgown. It was a white full-length nightgown that was supposed to be just because we were going on a cruise, so it would just be a nice gown to wear around the boat or like in our cabin. And so, but she had it with us. Like we had it there, as part of our carry-on. And so I said, well, you have that, right? And she says, yeah. And I said, let's just wear that. If the dress isn't here by 4, then just wear that. I'll take off some of my, whatever. I can detux a little bit, and we'll just go down, and I'll go down in basically my pants and a t-shirt, and you can do that. Who cares about the dress? We're going to get married. That's what matters. And so that was plan B. And then the dress showed up at about 3:50. And so it took about 10 minutes to get her into the dress and then everything ready. So, I mean, yeah, that was a little bit of drama. We didn't have family drama.
I mean, it wasn't no drama. It was just
that kind of thing. I mean, the only drama at Sam's was some of your groomsmen were threatening to kidnap you the night before and get you incredibly drunk. And Kimberly, his wonderful bride, overheard this and was really stressed because she thought it was real, which in turn stressed you out. And so you come to me, the youngest of the guys, and you had me tell them this isn't going to be a thing. And I'm like, I am the least equipped here to do anything about anything.
I'm just a baby.
I mean,
I'm just a baby.
Yeah, I was significantly younger than the rest of the guys there.
Yeah.
significantly maybe is the wrong word, but anyway. So you brought it up, Jess. I have to ask, what's wrong with
Oh, Sonia knows. Me and Sonia were barely friends, but I had to fill seats at my wedding, so I invited her.
And then we became friends.
I don't know, we became friends. She was at
Fed
my
me. I'm very food motivated.
Yeah, my parents are all divorced, so that that divorced parent dynamic, I very much related to, the awkward small talk and everything like that. And then my dad did his wedding speech in which he talked about his divorces with two of his wives there.
Oh dear.
Yeah. And then I got into a fight with my mom at the very end of the night. And then none of my family came to a brunch we prepaid for and pre-booked. It was just like 8 of us, and that included Sonia.
Hey, food again.
Yeah.
That's cool. that
Yeah,
she's there,
yeah, it's
though.
food. My husband
perfect.
even came.
Yeah, it's true. So it was like, my family didn't, but Sonia was there. And no, I don't talk to them, but I talk to Sonia. But my wedding was pretty cool other than that. Like, I just was like so wedding mode that it didn't even bother me until the next day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I was so just like euphoric. I was like, it's not going to bother me. It's not. The rest of the wedding went perfect. I'm such a good planner. And I handmade my decorations too. So
I pulled almost every muscle in my legs playing laser tag the morning of the wedding.
Yeah, we did that.
Yeah, I couldn't stand up or sit or move the day after the wedding. Luckily, I was running on adrenaline, and I literally had to be helped up and down out of a tub or on the toilet or anything like that. I could not move my legs.
Oh no. You guys leave too much to chance. I was like, I'm not doing anything but wedding all weekend.
Who would have thought there'd be issues playing laser tag? We were gonna do paintball, right? But then you're like, no, welts, put an eye out or something like that. But
and for your brother-in-law, we did golf, and Sam's wife Kimberly, her sister Megan, married Chad, former co-host of the podcast. May he rest in peace. He's not actually dead. It's just a joke.
Okay.
Whenever you leave the podcast, the joke is that you die. That's why you left the podcast.
Yeah. There's only one way out of this podcast.
Yeah, and it's through death. Anyway, we've lost 2 co-hosts, by the way. This is
Oh no.
My condolences.
Start your own graveyard, like a Cheapseat's graveyard. Yeah.
Anyway, for Chad's, we went and played golf, and Megan, I was the best man for him, and so Megan came up to me and she handed me a bottle of sunscreen and said, "You will put this on Chad. He will not be sunburnt on the day of the wedding."
That's right.
And I made sure to apply sunscreen to Chad. He was still sunburnt somehow.
It's Chad.
And a little drunk. The other funny part about Chad's wedding specifically was 2 of the other groomsmen were big dudes, right? So you can't tell from this image. Sam was like almost 6'2", right? So Sam is 6'2". I'm 6 feet tall. At the time, I was like 100 or 200 pounds, right? I'm the little guy again. So we've got the 2 Blankenship twins who are both of them 6'4", about 300. And then Corny, former co-host of the show, is also 6'3", 6'4". At the time, he's probably 3.25 maybe. So we've got a lot of beef there, and we're sitting on the pew in the front, and we snap the pew in half. And it's buckled at the church. So then we get to the wedding, we do the wedding, and then we go to the reception, and all of the guys are so hungry that where we're lining up to be introduced into the whatever, the food is back there, and the guys are shoveling.
The worst idea ever to put the food in front of us.
Dinner rolls are back there, and the guys must have had 30 or 40 of them.
So many dinner rolls.
So when they finally time for dinner, there's only like 8 people that got rolls, and Megan was pissed. It was very funny for me.
We had so much food at my wedding. Like, it was kind of ridiculous. We were
I was grateful.
Yeah, I know. We had like 4 appetizers during like cocktail hour, and then we had like a 3-course meal with like dessert and then the wedding cake. But then we had late night bars that came out at like 11 o'clock of like poutine. And a seafood
Canadian
bar.
wedding right there. Goodness
Yeah,
gracious.
poutine bar. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Poutine bar. Yeah, that came out. It comes out at like 11. So when you're like super already like drinking and stuff, yeah, it was pretty good. I felt very sick afterwards, and then I went to brunch. Yeah, we know how to party, so.
All right, last wedding story, then we're going to move on, I promise. But I have to
Okay.
tell the story because I have to. Good friend of ours, his name is Andrew, not Andrew Podcast Andrew, different Andrew. I'm not going to use his last name. Great friend of ours, like the nicest human ever. Has zero social awareness. Is just one of those guys that he'll walk over fire to help you, but he's going to trip on the way, right? And fall and burn his face off. His wife is a beautiful person. She's a wonderful soul. They are the loveliest people. Again, both of them, though, are very intelligent, but they're also like a bag of rocks together. You know, it's just how they are.
No, you're right.
So the night of the rehearsal dinner, right, we're at the church. Both of her dad and his dad, both preachers. So they're like a joint thing, which is kind of fun. And so we were told that at the reception, there's not going to be a toast, a traditional toast of the best man, whatever. So we're going to do it at the rehearsal dinner. And because the best man was his dad, who's also officiating, that all of the groomsmen were we were all allowed to give our own toast. We're allowed to do that. We were like, okay, that sounds fine. And it was a big wedding party. It was like 8 guys and 8 girls. It was a huge wedding party. And so all the guys together, and we're all, and there's a group of us all from high school and hung out together. And we all have our favorite Andrew stories and whatever. But we're like, you know what, guys? We give him shit all the time. Let's make today the day that we just love him, right? Let's make today that. So we all get up there and we talk about how he's the best human we've ever met, and he's awesome. I mean, like, his mom is crying, his dad is crying. Like, it's just the loveliest moment ever. Then it's time for Liz's side of the family, and her uncle tells the most god-awful embarrassing story. She has the ugly tears happening, right? She's frowning in her face, and she is so uncomfortable and so embarrassed.
Oh my
And
gosh.
someone else tells a story, and again, it was also like, oh, remember that time, Liz, where you peed your pants in front of the school? Like, I mean, it's just the worst, right? And so I look at the guys, I'm like, we have to fix this. So I get the microphone, I jump back up there, I'm like, hey Liz, thank you. I said, why don't you take a break for a second? We're gonna jump back in here. So she sits down. I said, Andrew, you got off too easy. If Liz is gonna get roasted, now it's your turn. So try to focus it back to Andrew because he can take it.
Yeah.
Try to help out. So then we all told our favorite Andrew stories, and we all had a good laugh because he can laugh at himself, and we had a good time with it. But we felt so bad for Liz. So it kind of worked out where like everyone was laughing and we were having a good time, and the awkwardness ended. And she came up to me later and gave me a big hug and said, thank you for doing that. I'm like, yeah, that sucked. And she's like, I know, especially after you guys were so nice to Andrew. And I was like, I know, right? So like, who would have thought that we were going to be nice? So
Sonia, do you remember the discrepancy between my parents' speech and my husband's parents' speech? Where my parents talked about the divorce, used a poem they found online, and my dad talked a lot about how great my husband is, but didn't mention me at all. And then their speech was 6 minutes. Both my parents, they're divorced. They each wrote their own speech. 6 minutes total. My husband's parents went on for 19 minutes, causing everyone to cry because of how wonderful their son is. And then at the very end, they mentioned me for the last minute.
It was also in French.
Yeah, they did some in French. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But it was just most of Jessica's family doesn't speak French, and
good for them. Good, I mean, it was just so funny because I was like, wow, everyone loves my husband.
Oh, bless.
Yeah. Then I just got drunk, and then it was fine. So it was fine.
Everyone got drunk for your wedding. Yeah.
I know. Oh my gosh, that open bar was no joke.
That's the best part.
All right. Well, you obviously can tell if you're listening that we didn't love this movie as much as maybe we said we did because we've just spent the last 15 minutes talking about our weddings and not the movie. So I'm going to do my best to bring it back. Now, I've also been incredibly distracted because my computer that does the recording just did a fun little crash. So fortunately, I'm recording Skype, so we're still good. Little inside baseball here. As well as my Google Chrome also crashed, so I'm having to reload all of the pages, which is just a fun time to do when you're live on a podcast. So, that all having been said, is there anything else we need to say about this movie before I do clips? Because, I mean, again, Jess, you have so many notes, but I feel like we've been talking about your wedding more than the movie.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I mean, my one note is that I would probably never leave someone at the altar. Like, I feel at that point you might as well just like fake it until the end. Just like don't sign the paper. Like you've already
just
spent all the
don't
money.
Don't nail it off. Yeah.
Yeah. Why are you gonna like embarrass someone in front of their friends and family? I would feel embarrassed even if I'm the one that called it off. Like all that money to waste. So like if I were to call off a wedding, I'd still have the wedding, I guess.
The party and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just be like, hey, like this isn't the day for. I feel like leaving someone at the altar is ridiculous. Yeah, like you would know your relationship isn't going further, so maybe just like talk about it before the wedding, like your relationship. Like I feel like you should know if you're gonna get married or not before you get married, and then like
usually a thing to do.
Yeah, and then you could just be like, hey, this isn't working out, like or I still love you, I just don't want to get married yet. And then you just like have a fun party with presents and then go to the courthouse when you're ready.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So that's my one last note. I guess.
All right. You sure? Because you always have.
Oh, I have more notes, but like I'm trying to move us along. Someone has to keep the train going,
Someone, yeah. Obviously, I've lost control some time ago. All right. Well, here's some clips. This was speaking of awkward toasts.
Anyway, Mom and Dad, I just want to say thank you. Your commitment is something that we can only aspire to.
Oh my God.
Robert, Renata, we hope our marriage is nothing like yours.
Pivot, baby.
I mean, that's not a character judgment by any means. I mean, 50% of marriages end in divorce, right? Okay.
Wonderful. Cheers, everybody.
My brother-in-law told me that the day before my wedding. Just remember, most marriages don't make it past the first year. Thanks, JP. Appreciate it.
I don't tell people that statistic. I tell people that you're more likely to get divorced if you live together first. That's my favorite statistic.
Interesting.
When it comes to marriage. Yeah. I don't know why. I just know that's true.
Longer together, so you're tired of each other?
Well, I think it's more like people expect things not to change once you're already living together and then you get married. But things do change anyway because now your like finances and everything are intertwined. Yeah. And so they don't treat it any differently. They just treat it like a piece of paper. But in reality, something changed. But versus when you get married early on and aren't living together, then you feel that change naturally, I guess. Something like that. But yeah, that's a fun statistic too.
Interesting. Because, yeah, Sarah and I lived together for almost a year before we got married.
Yep, I've lived together, and I don't know why that's a fact. It just is. It's also your second spouse, your second marriage, is more likely to fail as well. That's another.
Well, I do know that 100% of all divorces are caused by marriage. So I know that.
Yeah, I learned that too. Yeah.
I like statistics.
That's some good math. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yes, here's this one.
Ask, and I hope it's okay. Is that genetics? Or is it like Pilates?
Oh, Mom, now's not the time.
All right, but we need to get you out of here. It's the night before your wedding and you...
Okay. I like that. She was just like the sweetest mom, she was just so she felt different than some of the characters like you're used to seeing her. And again, I haven't seen her in a lot of things. It just like in that Two Broke Girls show or whatever, like she's like this over the top, like overbearing, crazy person. And like this movie, she's not. She's just like, I mean, she's a little overbearing on J-Lo, but like she just kind of seems like a really loving mom that just doesn't know boundaries.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I want her to be my mom.
I know that we like Jennifer Coolidge's mommy is like a whole like trend right now because she's in White Lotus. Anyone seen it? No. TV show. Yeah.
It's
so
on my
good.
to-do.
Yeah, so good, and she's so good in it. So yeah, she's great. She's great in everything.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jennifer Coolidge.
I saw Tom headed towards the nature walk before the ceremony, and I noticed that his frequency levels were dangerously low. I think he's getting cold feet.
Tommy has cold feet?
Really what we should be worrying about at this point?
I'm a mother. I can worry about a lot of things at the same time. Like Larry's mole.
Oh, it's fine.
Oh, it's getting bigger.
Spread out.
They just kept going with it. I loved it. It's so funny.
It's relatable.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie was very relatable. Lots of parts. not the pirates part, but like everything else was.
Yeah.
You know, it was over the top, but like you still were like, oh yeah, same.
Sure.
Yeah.
This made me laugh.
Are you dead?
I don't know why, but that just cracked me up. Yells at him, "Are you dead?" And then you have the whole bit where she can't stand the sight of blood and she passes out, and that comes back to play a couple times too. But that cracked me up. I don't know, the accidental, like Sam, like I don't know why this movie worked for me, but movies like Game Over Man, which is the same movie, right? It's like the accidental hero, like they bungle into saving the day. That movie didn't work for me at all, but this one did. I guess maybe this movie is more physical humor and situational, whatever, whereas that movie is just a lot of dick jokes. And I like a good dick joke, but like there is such
too much. Yeah.
Too much dick.
Too much dick. Yeah.
Yeah. Fair.
Yeah. By the way, one of my notes I did have that was a long ass zip line.
Yes.
That
oh
was
my
a
gosh.
long zip line. But the part that really kind of weirded me out was like they're climbing the tower, they're getting shot at. And then they get connected to the zip line, and they zip line from the camera angle for looked like 100 feet before they got to the part where the guys were shooting. And I thought they were shooting from an awful long way away. There's no way they're going to hit anything from that. But
I mean, let's be real. The rest of the movie, when they were close, they also were shooting and not hitting anything.
Yeah, they were pretty bad.
They're pretty bad.
No, the gunplay in this movie is awful. It just because when they're like the bad guys saw them and they started shooting, I thought, oh, they must be like at the base of the tower. Like, no, they're like a mile away, but it's fine. Yeah. But and again, they the grenade blood, and again those movie grenades don't act like real grenades, but we're okay. I think to your point with the bad green screen, right? Like we've accepted the fact that this movie is ridiculous and over the top, so physics and things like that aren't going to be real. Because when that grenade goes off, that thing was made of explodium, right? Like a real grenade
doesn't have fire like that.
It doesn't have fire like that. The purpose of a grenade is not to create an explosion. It's to blow up shrapnel. That's how you get hurt, is the shrapnel, not dynamite. Like that's what that was. It was like a bundle of dynamite that went off. But it looked cool.
The fireworks death was awesome too, like some fireworks going off. You're not sure whether to cheer because someone just died, but it was a bad guy, but there's fireworks, you know.
No, I'm for that. Like that one, I had no problem with that at all. I was down for that one. But I mean, and again, I know the movie needed us to see when they're back at the pool, there's smoke over there. Like I get that. The movie needed us to, but that's not how grenades work. So just how they are. I forgot what this one was called. Oh yeah, this is the bit when they're trying to cut the again. That's a kitchen. It's gonna be filled with knives and scissors, but they go to the most dangerous thing in the room.
On my count. Ready? 10, 9, 8.
Why are you counting from 10? What is this, a rocket launch?
Okay, fine. On 4.
And then he says on 4. Who does 4? It's a baseball guy. You would know he would say 3. Everything is in threes. It's so funny. That again, to me, that was funny. I just, I mean, Sam, you're laughing, but I think you're laughing because we're laughing. But
Yeah, you're
He's just
supportive
being
laughing.
Yeah, he's just being polite, Yeah.
it's one of the it's one of those things where I really do feel like this movie would have been a good one for us to watch together. Like, had we remember you were saying when we watched Thunder Force together, like we hated Thunder Force, but we had a good time watching it together. Whereas I don't think you hated this movie, you just didn't like it.
I did enjoy it. Yeah.
Thunder Force was, God, it was painful, guys. Like it's been a long time since I wanted to stop a stream and just say, let's just hang out.
Watching bad movies together is like just fun. I mean, that's why like shows like MST3K and Riff Tracks exist, because it's fun to like riff on bad movies with friends.
You're not wrong, and there is a point to that, but usually you go into it knowing it's a bad movie. Like your mindset is different. It's the equation that I put on Twitter today is happiness equals expectations plus reality. So like the expectation for Thunder Force is that it's not Megan Mullally, it's Megan McCarthy. Megan, right? McCarthy. No one's correct.
I've never seen it.
I don't. You know me in names.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bad with names too.
All right. Anyway, it's just the lady from Mike and Molly, and all of those.
Something McCarthy.
It's Melissa.
Melissa, yes, Melissa McCarthy.
Thank you. Her and some other people, and it just, I don't know. It was supposed to be funny, and it just wasn't. It just fell so flat. So, all right. Here's Chiefs Marine saying something funny.
Thanks, Dad.
There's some things that are more important than money. I don't know what they are.
I don't know why that came through so strange, but yeah, some things are more important than money. I don't know what they are. He made that joke a couple times in the movie too, but like that point, it felt like he was trying to make his daughter laugh. But he said it earlier, and it felt real.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, the whole thing was just caused because he had money.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong. And then there's this.
Oh, it's so dumb, it's brilliant. No! It's just dumb.
There you go. That was for you, Sam.
Just dumb.
That was such. I love that movie so much.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
good. Yeah, we did it last week,
good.
which is why that clip is still right here in my queue. But I'm never getting rid of that. I'm keeping that forever. I do need to just pare it down so that it's just
less spoilery.
Well, no, just
It's just dumb.
yeah, that's all I need right there. That's all I need. I'd be very happy with that.
It's just dumb.
That's right. All right, time for this.
Now for some more bad news. Ready?
This is our game. Well, Andrew, of course, isn't here. That means I'm doing the game. Ha ha ha. This is the game called Hey, Did You Notice? This is a game where I noticed some things in the movie, and I will ask you, and by you, of course, I mean Jessica, Sonia, and Sam, if you noticed them as well. This is a game where I'll ask you the question. If you get it right, you get a point. If you don't get it right, then the other person has a chance to steal the point. Are we ready?
No.
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. Again, I'm not Andrew, so I don't think that these are incredibly hard, but we'll find out. So, Jessica and Sonia go first. What team did Tom play for?
Oh, I have no fucking clue. Sorry, beep bleep that. There's no way. What's a baseball team, Sonia? The Bills?
But like
Bills.
maybe that fish that starts with an M.
The magic
The mackerel. It's the mackerel.
The mackerel? He's a mackerel? Is that our final answer?
I'll give you one hint. I'm gonna give you one hint.
No hints.
Okay. No hints.
Oh.
The one hint I was gonna say is that J-Lo in the scene where she's wearing just the t-shirt and no pants, she's wearing his shirt.
I wouldn't know. Does it like I was too busy.
I wasn't looking at the shirt. Sean.
All right, Sam, what is it?
The Robins.
Yeah, the Midland Robins, which is not
It wasn't M.
Oh, that was a fish.
Robins have a B in it. Bill's pretty close.
Bills.
Yeah.
You did say bills. You know, it's a good tenth of a bird. So yeah.
All right, Sam.
Yeah.
When Darcy is mad at Tom, she is in her bedroom bungalow yelling and screaming and having a liquid brunch. What is she eating?
She's having a liquid lunch, and I want to say it's Doritos.
Sonia and Jessica?
I was gonna say it's Doritos too. I was like, it's Doritos.
Was it like?
Oh no! Oh, now I remember because I
have no idea because like it was like I thought it was like some kind of like chip, but I don't know.
I'm looking for a specific kind of chip.
Lay's?
Yes.
Oh.
I thought it was Doritos. I was so excited I knew it.
I now of course I should have said Lay's, but I made the French onion dip last night for dinner because I was like, you know, that would be good with some Lay's chips.
Yeah.
So.
Lay's
Can't
potato.
believe that's it. Doggone it.
Generic Lay's. I was looking to see if I can, get close enough to the wine bottle to see what the vintage of the wine was, but it wasn't to be had. All right, Sonia and Jessica, this one's back to you. What is the name of the resort?
Wait, where are they? They're in the Philippines or something?
Not Bali.
No, they're not.
No,
The bad guys
Bali.
are from Bali. The bad
Yeah.
guys are from Bali, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Philippines island.
It's something that would advertise to like brides and like wedding people, like events or something. I don't know. For something. I got nothing. Damn it.
And okay, I picked this because it's everywhere. It's on the cart. It's when they go to get on the zip line. It's in the office. I mean, it's on the computer. It's everywhere.
Full disclosure, I might have been
Drunk?
under the influence of substances.
No wonder you like
While I
it so
watched-
much.
Well, I watched this movie. So, like, small details might have went whoop.
Any idea, Sam?
Amy's Island. That's the only thing.
It's called Mahal, M-A-H.
Another M.
Mahal.
Maybe that's where the M you were thinking of before came in. You were just thinking of that.
Something M. M's one of those like letters that just stick in my head. It's a letter.
It's because it's close to a lot of other letters. It's close to N's. It's close to like B's even, you know?
It's at least within 20 something
That's right.
places of all the other letters. So.
Well, when you're right there in the middle, that's what happens. Which, by the way, I'm curious because, like, when you learn the alphabet, for me, the alphabet I break into halves, right? So you have A through L, and then M through Z, and so like M for me is like the midpoint. So if I'm having to find alphabetical order, is it before or after M? Like M is my midpoint. I don't know. That's the way my brain works. It's strange.
No, it makes sense.
I do it in
Three
thirds,
parts.
I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Like the beginning, L,
A,
M,
B, C, D,
N, O,
E,
P.
E, F,
and
G.
then-
You start with G or ends with G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P.
Yeah.
Second.
LMNO is not actually like a bunch of letters. It's just like one letter. Pronounced
Elemento.
LMNO, you know?
Elemento.
Yeah.
It's a drink.
Oh my God, is it? Because that would be great. I would love to go to a bartender like, give me an LMNO, please, straight on the rocks. Like,
That's what the Spanish called little fish, right? An elemento. That was important.
But
Yeah, I apologize.
No,
Sam.
don't reward that. What?
No. What song do they sing? What is the name of the song and the artist?
You know I'm horrible at that stuff.
That's why I made it your question.
Yeah. It is the YMCA by the Dallas Cowboys.
Yes. No. Sonia.
I'm trying to.
Yes.
What's the song? Are you talking about like at the end?
The end credit?
No. The song.
No.
The wedding song that they're all singing together.
Oh.
I know this song. I know. Oh, God, I'm so bad at remembering.
I'll be
well,
you're crying.
I don't know what it's called.
The Counting Crows. No. That guy.
I'll be.
You and I are the same age. How do you not know this song?
The man of your life is like the song.
Okay, well, Sam has already said the name of the song.
Oh.
I was like
Literally
counting
called
crows.
I'll Be,
Yeah.
and it's by Edwin McCain.
Oh, that
Oh,
guy.
I got
Yeah.
that.
He did one song. It was on every middle school dance.
There you go.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm just
Right.
a baby.
Well, it was high
I'm just
school
a
for me.
baby.
That was high school for me.
You're
Oh.
only like 2 years older. It could have been middle school too.
Yeah, well, yeah. If I was in 10th grade and you're in 8th grade, yeah. So I mean, yeah. I can't believe no one got that. I really can't. Whose
We
turn is?
don't pay attention.
But I mean, like it's the song that they sing in the trailer.
I didn't watch that. I just trusted your pick on movie.
I said, this movie, watch the trailer, and you said yes, it looks great.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Jessica's a liar. The dirty, filthy liar. Can't trust Canadians; they're liars.
Yeah, it's true. That's why you think we're so nice.
I know. We're just sneaky and mischievous.
All right. Well, here's the last question. So hopefully you guys can get this one to at least win the game. This goes to Sonia and Jessica. What image is on the parasail?
Wait, was that
the
Lenny
yellow.
Kravitz's character
Yeah.
when he was on the parasail?
Yeah. What was the image on the actual parasail? Like
It was
what?
yellow.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with banana. Because you got bananas in your background.
But if it could have, was it banana or would it have been like, is it another
Oh, no.
fruit maybe? Maybe
I
they
don't
brought
know.
pineapples back?
I don't know. It was just yellow was the main color.
Well, I'm just thinking like maybe
pineapple. We can go
I don't know. It's
pineapple.
been like a
Because there's
trend.
banana over my shoulder here doesn't mean that it's in the movie.
Well, we just remember yellow, okay? We're doing our best.
Listen, that's the most detail I've remembered this entire movie.
Okay, Sam.
It's a face. It's like a smiley face.
Oh, smiley face.
Oh, those
With
are
what?
yellow too.
Smiley face with what? Give me one more detail. I mean, you're gonna win the point, but it's fine. It's
Sunglasses or something. Wasn't it?
yeah, sunglasses.
Oh, Jessica.
What? You said yellow. I was trying to brainstorm.
Me too. I was like,
Oh, we did our best.
Oh, I'm so proud of you guys. I really am. Time for this.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
All right. Well, this is one game that we will be all successful in, and that is our top three.
Yes.
I think, Jessica, you actually came up with the suggestion for wedding movies, and then Sam said like an hour later, hey, we should do wedding movies. So that worked out really well.
See, I already have your co-host brain.
I'm with you.
There you go.
I like it. So the way that I did this from my three, I just did movies with weddings,
Yeah,
as opposed to the movie is about the wedding. There's just a wedding in the movie.
fair.
So I think that kind of helps open up the whatever. So I will let Sam go first.
Sure. I'm going to go my number 3. One of the best experiences I've had in a theater with a big group of people, and that was watching The Hangover, which was absolutely hilarious. Another movie that I don't know why, but if it's on, I'll stop and watch it. That is The Wedding Crashers.
Oh yeah, I like
Okay.
that one too.
Right? So many good. That's a comedy. That is a wedding comedy. My number 1, and I have not seen it since I've had daughters because I think I'm actively avoiding it, and that is Father of the Bride.
All
Oh,
right.
I haven't seen that one in a while.
Yeah.
Wild. They have a new one out.
Yeah. So
All right.
all good.
I like it.
Nice.
Sonia.
Okay, because I went with a theme inside a theme. I have a note. Jennifer Lopez is a Hallmark actress, but in movies with better budgets. So this I have
All
The
right.
Wedding
Yeah.
Planner,
Yeah.
Classic.
Monster-in-Law,
That's a fun one.
And-
Yeah, I forgot Monster-in-Law. Oh my goodness.
and then another one she just did within the last year, Marry Me.
Man, she does do a lot of these, doesn't she?
She does. Like these are just on the top of my head. I
There's a
didn't
couple
search
other
for
ones
them.
that she's done.
I just
mentioned.
she's like Made in Manhattan, where she like
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
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 Oh, yeah.
She just likes wearing wedding dresses,
An
I guess.
expensive Hallmark actress, basically.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was my theme within the theme.
I like it. Very
Yeah.
very meta. I like it. Jessica.
Okay, so my number 3 is a wedding classic, Bridesmaids.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love that one.
I know, right? It has Melissa McCarthy in it.
Mhm.
There you go.
Actually, when she's funny.
Yes. Yeah.
And my second is my best friend's wedding. Big Julia Roberts fan, Cameron Diaz.
When a girl gets her tongue stuck to the ice sculpture's dick.
Yeah, classic. It's a classic.
I've seen it. Oh yeah.
It was one of those movies I had on like VHS, and so I watched it like over and over and over as a kid. And then my number 1 is the Freaky Friday remake, with Jamie Lee Curtis, Lindsay Lohan, that kind of stuff. And it's another movie that ends with a band playing during the end credits.
I like it.
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. Okay. I guess that's my turn. I'm going to give an honorable mention. I just thought of it, but you saying that made me think of it. Clueless.
Yep.
Wedding. And that just made me think of that. My number 3 was The Wedding Singer.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yep. My number 2 is actually one of my favorite rom-coms, is The Proposal. I know
yeah.
Got Ryan Reynolds in it, but
yeah.
Sandra
Bullock.
Sandra Bullock.
That's even better.
Yeah, and Betty.
Is that where they accidentally fall on each other naked?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Yeah. And I love that. That's the part that you remember.
It's the only part I remember.
And my number 1, because I was able to do it, is Star Trek Nemesis. That movie starts off with a wedding. Stop it, Sam. If there was a wedding in Jurassic Park, if 2 dinosaurs got married, you would have done it.
You don't know, they did.
Life
How
found
do you make
a way.
baby?
Life found a way, and they started talking to each other, and they wrote their own vows. All right. So I think Twitter was actually pretty active on this one, which is good because we haven't had a lot of Twitter. So our Twitter friends, Ebony, once again chiming in. Ebony is like an all-star on this game. My best friend's wedding. My big fat Greek wedding. Then she asks, can I include Kill Bill 2 because there's a wedding in it? Well, of course.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And she ends with 4 weddings and a funeral. Let's see. Stu World Order says, hey, I just watched that today. Excited to see what you all thought. Well, thanks, Stu. 2 Sense Critic, who is a friend of both of ours. I was on his show. I was actually on his show for Glass Onion.
We're going to be there on Saturday.
That's right.
Cool.
He did, he says, Bridesmaids, Palm Springs, and The Wedding Singer. Invasion of the Remake says Muriel's Wedding, The Wedding Singer, and Father of the Bride. Some more good ones. Audie, at the Audie Norman, who we had on last week, says The Proposal, Crazy Rich Asians, and The Muppets Take Manhattan. Oh, that's cool.
Was the wedding in that one? I don't remember that.
At the very end, isn't like Miss Piggy or Kermit Wonder?
Yeah.
They're about to marry like the wrong person, and they have to do a big wedding interruptus thing. I don't remember. It's been
It's been forever. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been since my son's age when I like the only literally the big takeaway from that movie was that Kermit had to go work for an ad agency, and he came up with Ocean Spring soap for people who don't want to stink. That's
genius marketing. Genius.
All I remember from that movie. Shoot the Flick says The Wedding Singer, Ready or Not, and Palm Spring. We got to do Ready or Not for a podcast.
We do. It's out there, man.
It's just on Hulu right now. I need to either I need to buy Hulu or we need to get it on something.
I've got Hulu.
And then Drew from the Attitude Era Wrestling Review podcast, or Across the Stars, whichever one you want, it says Spaceballs.
Yeah.
Right, she walks around in that dress through the entire thing.
Yeah.
Star Wars Episode 2, parentheses, sorry, Sam, and Beetlejuice. So he went outside the box with those 3. I like it. I like it a lot. Thanks, Drew, for those. That's it. That's our that thing. So yeah, if you listen to the show and you want to have your name read off just like that, feel free to comment on our Twitter. I usually post that about an hour and a half before each episode. That's the way we're going to do it there. Time for this.
Wait, what's supposed to happen?
This is where we give this movie a score from 0 to 10. And this week we're going to start normally with, Andrew, but he's not here. So Sonia, go first.
I'm gonna go with an 8, because there was like a little bit for everybody. Like there was like romance, and then there was funny parts. There was like action. So like you can like trick your boyfriend into watching it and be like, "Hey, there's an action movie. There's explosions."
I like that.
No
Good.
deli slicers slicing hands open.
That's right. It's a good Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is coming up. You guys can watch that on date night. It's a good date night movie.
You know what's
There you
another fun romantic comedy action flick is, I think it's called This Means War, where it's Chris Pine and Tom Hardy are like CIA spies, but they're fighting over the love of Reese Witherspoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually really cute.
It's
But
good,
again, it's also an action comedy. But there's a lot of fun kind of spycraft going on and stuff like that. So
Chris Pratt's forehead is very apparent in that one.
Chris Pine, and yes.
Chris Pine. Yeah.
All right, Jessica.
I also gave it an 8, and I think they were pulling on the cheese on purpose. I think they knew exactly what movie they were making and weren't trying to be anything else but, And Jennifer Coolidge automatically adds a couple points for me because she's the GOAT. So
Yes, exactly.
I like it. Damn.
A 9.2 out of 10. No.
That's why I wrote it down. You can't change it.
Oh, I gotta give it a 4.83 out of 10. It just hit me in the wrong way. Apparently, I just didn't enjoy it. Thought it was dumb.
That's fine.
In a bad way.
in a bad way.
So I have the ability to look back into my notes and look at the score of other movies to see where I would put it up against. I mean, you both like this more than Spirited.
Yeah.
Oh, but Spirited.
Spirited. It was like, the ending ruined it.
We all know where I stand on certain people.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised you didn't change your rating to make it lower because of Ryan Reynolds.
Well, because it was such like the fact that I didn't recognize it made it okay. Like if Ryan Reynolds just is hit, I don't recognize his involvement, then it's fine.
It's fine. All
yeah.
right. But the fact that I thought you would make a comment because it was his Maximum Effort production company that did it, but instead of saying his Maximum Effort, they put Ryan Reynolds. It was his company that did it. But
they tricked me because I wasn't watching the credits. I was just dancing along. Yeah, I was just I was not paying attention.
It was Ryan Reynolds fashion. It was I need my name big and bright and in this. And I was just surprised.
Oh,
you didn't say anything.
I'm glad you said something.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't notice this until now, but from the week of the Star Trek Beyond episode all the way through, I had 4 episodes where I gave the movie a score of 8.5. It's so weird that I did that. 8.5 for I liked Star Trek Beyond, The Gentleman, Spirited, and Wrongfully Accused all the same. And I'm kind of okay with that, I think.
Yeah.
But I'm also looking here at the last movie of this kind, right? Where it's primarily a comedy, not an action comedy, because we haven't done an action comedy in a while that I can see in my list here. But I gave Christmas Vacation a 7.5. I had more fun with this than that movie. I know that's kind of sacrilegious.
Sacrilegious.
I know, but I had a whole episode to talk about how that movie just didn't work for me in some cases. Chevy Chase sucks in that movie.
Yep.
Kind of a horrible person.
Yep.
And
we talked about this in depth. You should listen to the episode.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sean.
That's right. You were my co-host that episode. That's right. Yeah.
Yes, I was.
I guess you haven't listened to that episode, Sam. Yeah.
No, I don't want to get angry.
You
so.
will. You won't like what I had to say about that movie.
I like that movie.
That's fine. You can like it, just like you can not like this one. I'm giving this movie an 8 also.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
It's
I had fun.
all around 8.
I had
I'm
a
going to
good
change
time.
mine to a 2.5.
That's fine.
No.
Just make it
Just keep it
lower.
at 4. Yeah.
4.83. It gives the score a 7.2075.
We still win.
Yay!
The
I mean,
eyes have it.
It still tucks it under. I mean, it's well under Christmas Vacation and other movies like that. I'm trying to think. The next movie that's kind of close to that would be Carrie. The next 7.2 movie I can even find is The King's Man. So, yeah, there you go.
No idea.
And Dick Tracy. There you go. All right, that's our show. That's it. I have nothing more to say other than Jess and or Sonia, whoever wants to do it. Please tell our listeners more about you because we can't get enough of you, so we need to have.
Apparently.
Apparently.
Well, we are the Opinionated Lushes, and we drink and talk like this. We review movies sometimes for fun whenever we want to, but we are just a multifaceted podcast with tons of topics. You can find all of our stuff wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes every Friday, unedited episodes on YouTube, and we even have Patreon content at our lowest tier. If you want to check out our link tree or just Google Opinionated Lushes, we pop up everywhere. What's our link tree, Sonia? You're the one that says that line. I don't know.
Our link tree is linktree, linktr.ee/opinionated lushes. There's no spaces.
Cool.
I really wish Linktree would have made it like link.tree.
Yes.
Or because link.tr or linktr.ee is confusing.
Yes.
I
have to change it all the time. My autocorrect always changes it to limited after I push the period, like the dot.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, oh, damn it.
It is a little confusing. That's why I just say Linktree, just Linktree/Cheapseat Reviews. I mean, if you just type that in, you'll find it eventually. But
yeah, we'll pop up right away. We're like first page Google. We're pretty much famous.
They're pretty much.
We're pretty much all the way
they're a big
famous.
deal.
Pretty much, sure.
They're a big deal. Well, thank you so much for coming back on. And once again, I think we're probably, unfortunately, I can't schedule you out for, 5 weeks from now. It'll have to be a little farther out. But thank you so much for coming back on. We are, of course, Cheapseat Reviews. You can go to our website, cheapseatreviews.libsyn.com or linktree/Cheapseat Reviews. However you find us there, that's where we are. Also, our youtube.com/Cheapseat Reviews. Go there, leave us reviews and comment. It's been a lot of fun. YouTube's actually been a lot of fun. Speaking of having people right back on the show that we're just on, Marie, who was on with us for RRR, that was we did just like 3-4 weeks ago, is coming right back on. We're doing Sardar Udaan, which is like the serious telling of the RRR story. It's the same story. It's just a dramatic, real telling with some more history. Apparently, it's more realistic. We must.
Oh no, RRR isn't realistic. Come on.
No. We must have. I mean, legit. 15 to 25 comments on YouTube saying this is the movie you need to watch.
Okay.
For it. So a lot of people said you should watch it. So you know what? We're going to do it because we will do whatever the masses want us to do.
Absolutely.
We always bow to the listeners because we want them to listen. So that's what we're going to do next week. Also, that's it.
That's it.
No, I have nothing more to say. So next week, to stay tuned for that. So on behalf of Sonia, Jessica, Sam, Andrew, and Chad and Corny, may they rest in peace. This is Sean saying thank you all so much for listening, and we'll see you next week for Sardar Udaan, which I'm probably not saying correctly.
This is Cheapseat Reviews.
Also, because I'm a child, I was drinking chocolate milk tonight.
I saw like you had to mix it, right? Was it a syrup or a powder?
Syrup. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
Syrup's
syrup.
better.
Yeah. Adults get the syrup. The kids get the powder.
Yeah, it's a bit of that chocolate right there at the bottom. Yeah.
Good stuff.